We are on a 24-day Mexican Riviera and Hawaiian cruise with Holland America. The first leg of this cruise is 7 days in the Mexican Riviera. We already stopped at 2 ports, and you can check this video out for that if you haven't already. And today we are in Puerto Vallarta, which is one of my favorite stops. Maybe because we had a special personal tour, but it really is a beautiful town. And this video will also show you what we did during sea days back to San Diego, and a lot more.
So it's day 5, Wednesday, on the first leg of this double back-to-back cruise we're going on. And one thing I'm learning by traveling on this thing is that I have been habitually saying wrong my entire life, every place we're going. For instance, this place I've been calling Puerto Vallarta. And what is it called, honey?
Puerto Vallarta.
Ah!
Puerto Vallarta is much bigger than what I thought. You're going to have somebody pick you up. Actually, we are waiting for our friends to pick us up. They said wait where the taxis go. And it's kind of cool. We get to see the hustle and bustle of this city.
Hey, Sue, who are these friends?
All right, we're meeting Irene and Dan. We actually met them, I don't know, about 2 years ago probably now, at the Tampa RV show. So we've crossed paths with them before, and now they said, we said we're going to be in Puerto Vallarta, they actually said, we're there, let's get together. They are subscribers. We met them at the Tampa RV show.
And they've transitioned to friends.
They are friends, yes.
This will be a test to see if we're still friends after we spend all day with them. They're going to take us to their parents' home in this area, I believe, and we're gonna just putz around the city and come back late tonight, so we're really looking forward to this. One of the advantages of traveling internationally as a big YouTube star, our journey in miles.
So clarification on the see if we'll be friends. We're worried they're gonna dump us off because they had enough of us, and we got to make our way back to the
But
pier.
you know what? You know what? I really feel at home here, because if you'll notice in the background,
Oh my God, you're making me...
There's not only a Sam's Club, but a Walmart. They're right next to each other.
Yeah. All right, our taxi has arrived.
Dan's mom and stepdad actually have a place here in Puerto Vallarta, which they come to every winter for, I'm not even sure how many years. Dan and Irene have been here visiting for, I think, about a month now. They also are full-time RVers, and they ended up parking their rig somewhere in the U.S. and flew down here. And now the tour begins from the cruise port to the Malecon Boardwalk right downtown. Puerto Vallarta has transformed over many years into a tourist region and a place for recreation, and the Malecon Boardwalk, which is in the heart of downtown. The Malecon Boardwalk is one of Puerto Vallarta's most popular attractions. Besides its sunset views, which are supposed to be fantastic, it also has a variety of sculptures and public art installations found along its path, which is a 12-block, about a mile-long walk. It's like strolling along an art gallery, and it's outdoors. Can't beat that. There are also typically a few different street performers around. And here's the more popular one, the famous Voladores de Papantla, the pole flyers, or Papantla flying men. It's colorful, and it looks dangerous, but there's so much more beyond what you can see. There are centuries of tradition, and considered to be one, if not the oldest in Mexico. The ritual was created with a very specific purpose to offer their gratitude to the sun god, god of spring and fertility, and to the rain god. It's really a dance and a prayer and an expression of love for the earth, its bounty, and its natural forces. I love learning about different cultures. The Papantla birdmen stretch out their arms like wings and are rushing and circling through the air. They slowly turn down to earth, staying in the air only until all of them have spun the magical number of 13 spins. That's 52 in total, and that represents the number of weeks in a year. I timed them and it took them about 2 minutes and 23 seconds to land. I was getting dizzy just watching them. Even as I edited this video, I was getting dizzy. The second time we saw them coming down, we noticed that the flute and drum player was on top, spinning around, and that's the traditional way to do it from what I read.
This is the engineering portion of the OGIM show. We just showed the act where they were hanging from these cables, and now you see they needed the second person up there to counterweight the turntable, and these guys are managing the lay of the rope as it's being wound up on the spool there so that they don't have a calamity on the way back. You see how quickly they're doing this. So there you go. Once again, engineering portion brought to you courtesy of Marco. Once again, I would like to thank all of our subscribers supporting the OGIM channel, coming out on such short notice to just enjoy the wonderful Puerto Vallarta city. So I would like to give our audience that came out to support the channel, thank you everyone that has showed up today to support our journey in Myles. Maybe next time, Sue, we should give people more notice. You know, the 15 minutes on Instagram ain't cutting it.
And now for the art portion of this video. Here we see the Church of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and it's in the center of the town square. I read it was built between 1930 and 1940, but it actually took longer than that to be what you see today. Its various building styles really represent the different stages that Vallarta has gone through in its evolution from town to city. You can see its neoclassical building style in the main chapel and Renaissance-style towers, the main tower finished in 1955. And the famous crown above on the main building is typically a Baroque style, and that was put in place in 1963. Really, the facade and lower towers weren't finished until 1987. It took almost 84 years for the church to go from rustic chapel to the icon it is today.
I'm trying to see if I got something to wait.
All right, here we are recording something, and all of a sudden, I felt that. Dan's trying to tell me it's good luck. I'm not believing him. Is that the official poop scooper? Excellent. Thank you, Dan.
The OGIM channel is all about honesty. So, our newfound subscriber friends, and tour guide saved her by taking off the bird poop with a leaf that he found. Okay?
He's resourceful.
Sue's husband, that supposedly loves her, had a handkerchief in his pocket.
You can give me the final.
No, and I couldn't do it. I thought, you know what? You're on your own.
So this is where we're heading. We're going to cross that bridge. See what's on the other side.
And once you cross this rope bridge, what's on the other side is the Quale Island Flea Market. It's a great place for souvenirs and to work on your haggling skills.
Wow, it is a little.
So what do you think, Mark? Hey, top gauge steel.
Well, let's see.
Fastened down and tightened up tight.
Okay, look at this. This part of the rope is called the dead part. This is the live part where the load is, and this is dead because there's no load from here to here. And this is the saddle. And the rule is you never saddle a dead horse. And so they have the saddle on the dead part, so they have it on the wrong part.
All right, let's get off here.
Well, and the reason they did that is they used this diameter so that it works, but then this is a much smaller diameter, and if they probably did it the other way, it wouldn't work. So
Alright, so we just took a little potty break right here, and it actually cost us 10 pesos each. And you need to ask them for toilet paper too, just to let you know.
And now we're heading over to Dan's mom and stepdad's condo. We're actually driving right by our cruise ship too. Once we get to the condo, we are just amazed on what an incredible view they have there. So we spent a really lovely afternoon, had lunch with them, and just feel really lucky to have been able to spend this time with them. So we finally make our way back onto the ship, and of course we're on a cruise, so it's time to eat again.
Chicken cordon bleu.
Usually when we make these port calls, they have us get back on board before the sun is down, so the time varies, usually around 5 o'clock, sometimes earlier. This was a rare one though. This time, all aboard time was 8:30 p.m.
Day 6 of our cruise adventure, and this is actually a free day sea day. We're heading back up to San Diego, so there's a lot of activities going on the ship. We're trying to figure out what we want to do.
First things first, honey.
All right, we decided to have breakfast out by the pool just because it's more open air, fresh air, and hopefully motion sickness doesn't kick in for me. Good breakfast.
A penny for your thoughts.
Oh my gosh. Just looking at a lot of nothing out there and watching the swells. I'm wondering how it's going to affect us when it hits us.
Wow.
Mainly, I'm wondering how it's going to affect me. If you haven't already noticed, I'm wearing a seasickness patch. Plus, I look really tired from it. Let's fast forward to day 11, which was our third day at sea towards Hawaii.
It is our third day at sea. What is it? January 17th. Yesterday was rough. The waves were high. We were constantly rocking. I went to the cabin 2 times to lay down. So I've got the patch on, and that didn't seem to work. So I took some Bonine too, and it kind of worked.
Yep.
Plus laying down. Plus one of our friends, Marcia, had to go lay down too. It was a rough sea. Feeling better, but not great. So it feels like it might be a better day today. I'm feeling better. I actually put makeup on. Voila!
I came with a full arsenal of motion sickness drugs. I wore the scopolamine patch every day and acupressure wristbands, supplemented with Bonine 2 days when it got really rough. I was not myself on these drugs. As far as energy, I'm sure you can tell from my eyes and how whipped I look. One of our friends from Milwaukee told us she found something better. They go on cruises a lot, and she feels as bad as me and said she would never do the scopolamine patch again. She found this herbal patch that says it has no side effects. Wendy said it worked great. I haven't tried it. Have any of you? And if so, did it work for you? Please leave a comment. After our stroll on the promenade deck 3, we continued walking indoors and checked out the fitness center. You can see it's a really nice center.
Sue, I was wondering if you're just trying to get ready so that you can have more dessert later.
Oh my God, always. This is my prep for dessert.
And I wasn't kidding. After this sort of workout, we attended a fitness seminar. And of course, after that, because we're on a cruise,
Well, we
ate.
just finished our... Where were we heading?
It was a seminar on how to get a flat stomach without having to work out. Basically, it's inflammation, how to control it. Inflammation in your gut and your liver and your body, and it was very good.
It was very interesting.
Yes.
But not as interesting as this.
It's really good.
Okay, and we did go on a treadmill and burn 57 calories. So that's good for smelling.
All right, I can have this first bite.
I'm going to cut it off right when it goes into your mouth.
So Mark just went down to our room, leaving me here, and he forgot he tucked his napkin in.
I went all the way down to the Lido deck. I'm talking to people in the elevator shaft, Nobody said a thing.
Oh my
That's
God.
because we're on a ship where people understand.
Yes, right. All right. Go ahead.
All right, hey, nice thing is I don't have to reinstall it.
You didn't lose
Look
it.
at this. Wow, that's a pancake.
So he just came back, and I'm going to get ready to go to the towel folding class. And look what we have. All right, I'm ready. And we are on Friday right now. We're still at sea, actually. We're heading to San Diego, and tomorrow morning we'll pull into San Diego. But I did want to point out that they put a schedule out every day. It's called the Daily Program. You can see today is Friday the 13th. And on the front you can see they have the highlights of what's going on today. Good to know, but also they list all the other different activities that aren't on the highlight page, but you can see the yellow. I actually highlighted some things we might check out. And they also have the page on entertainment and events. It's just so well organized. Sometimes there's so much to choose at the same time, it's kind of hard. But I gotta say, if anybody is bored on this cruise, shame on you. And actually, we did see a lot of people just lounging and reading books. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I love these sea days. You can be as busy as you want, or just find a nice corner to relax and read a book. And each day you'll get a new program placed on your bed. And you'll notice that they also let you know when you're crossing a time zone and need to set your clocks either back or forward. And that happened a number of times on the Hawaiian part of this cruise. But they also have this Navigator app, which gives you all of this information and then some. There's the itinerary for the days and if it will be at sea or at port. And ours is kind of hiding here, but you can see it also shows all the excursions you're already signed up for. The Navigator app is easy to download and has a wallet with your paid excursions and more. We didn't have cell service or paid internet, but they do have on this app a chat, so we could connect with our friends on the ship, which is always really handy. And as you can see, there's so much more. And it's all on your phone, which we always have with us anyway, right? On Deck for a Cause invites guests to participate in a non-competitive 5K fundraising walk on every sailing aboard each of the line's 15 ships. Guests can walk less than the 5K or even not at all, like Mark.
The cause is the Ukrainian People Relief Fund for all of the issues that are happening over there. Nice t-shirt. Nice logo. The only bad thing is there's a scale, honey. I'm walking away from that.
So if you've had photos taken, this is where you pick them up.
What I usually do is, if I find a nice looking couple, I end up picking up the picture and just buying it, just as a memento.
And this is why Mark was running from the scale. It's tea time. Now let's take a look at a few activities during the sea day. There's always the pool, and you can kind of tell what the waves are doing in the ocean by the waves of the pool. There are a number of activities by the pool, like this Tai Chi class I took a few mornings, along with hula dance lessons, cornhole competitions, and so much more, including a movie at night. I love these signs because I got lost several times not knowing which end is front and which is back. We're on deck 11, the sun deck, where the jogging track is and where you can also look over into the main pool. And as we were just looking out at the ocean, talking, I didn't notice until I looked at this video. Is that a shark or a dolphin? Anyway, all kinds of opportunities for getting your exercise in and entertainment. We've got a game of pickleball going on up here. That's also used for basketball. And there's also shuffleboard. Every morning they have EXC Talks in the world stage. Today it's about onboard games and the history of them all.
Of these games found across different times and cultures.
It actually was really interesting, and you will find all these games happening right here on board.
9th century China, the first printed deck had only 32 cards. Cards were printed on paper, wood, even bone.
And every evening while at sea, there were really great performances back at the world stage.
So this is the second BBC Earth Series experience that we saw in this show hall. And the first one, when I went to it, I actually wasn't that excited about going to it, but oh my God, it ended up actually being the best thing that we've seen so far. And we really like, you can look on stage, Sue, and you can see that there's, from left to right, there's a piano player and then a cello player and then two different sizes of violins, and they perfectly accompany the music and what you see on screen, and you're thinking, that can't be that great, but I'm telling you, it was awesome. I'm expecting this one to be as good as the other one.
Images you're about to see are highlights from the BBC television series 7 Worlds, 1 Planet. And what better way to accompany them than a magical music score from Oscar winner Hans Zimmer together with Jacob Shea.
And this concludes our Mexican Riviera leg of the cruise. Truly, there is so much more that we didn't show. But check in with us next week when we arrive back in San Diego and meet up with 2 Milwaukee friends and start our 5 days at sea to Hawaii. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you then.